Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Alyanida Fauziatunnisa. I'm a student of Magister Management Universitas Negeri Jakarta. And right now, I would like to explain about my result of my thesis, with the title is The Influence of Work-Life and Work-Life Balance on Turnover Intention with Job Satisfaction as a Mediating Variable among employees of PT Cindo Business Center, with my supervisors are Professor Dr. Dewi Susita MSc and Professor Dr. Raden Tuti Sariwulan MSc. Okay, the list of content for my result of thesis. The first one is introduction, and the second one is literature review, and then research method and research result and discussion, and the last one is conclusion and suggestion. Okay, the first one is introduction. Background. In today's increasingly complex business competition era, companies are required to adapt to internal and external change. Human research, or HR, are a key to organizational success, as goal achievement heavily depends on individual performance and capability. Therefore, management must optimize HR management to build high competitiveness. One crucial aspect to consider is workload. Excessive workload can reduce productivity and employee well-being. To overcome this, organization can apply a work-life balance approach, creating harmony between work and personal life so that employees remain productivity and healthy overall. Companies that ignore the needs and the rights of their human research, along with rising job demands and poor working conditions, will likely trigger employee turnover intention. And then PT Cindo Business Center, a Jakarta-based business and HR consulting service company that provides one-stop service, including company registration, tax and finance, visa and immigration, recruitment and outsourcing, legal and then legal and investment consulting. PT Cindo Business Center focuses on assisting Chinese companies investing in Indonesia and has served more than 700 companies and placed over 1,000 workers. PT Cindo Business Center is a strategic partner in supporting China-Indonesia bilateral investment. In this part, there's stable employee turnover PT Cindo Business Center from 2021 until 2024. The high return of turnover rate in recent years indicates challenge in retaining employees. Key factors include excessive workload not matched by available resource, imbalance between work and personal life or work-life balance, and dissatisfaction with job aspects such as the compensation system and career development opportunities. And then the researchers also use preserved interview result. The preserved interview revealed that most respondents were dissatisfied with current working condition, high workload, and unrealistic target, and also perceived inadequate compensation were main cause stress and fatigue. Some respondents have even started looking for new jobs. Unclear SOPs and lack of flexibility in working hours forced them to take work home, disrupting personal life. While some felt supported by their supervisors and teams, issues like minimal promotion opportunities, especially for outsourced staff, and monotonous tasks remain obstacles. In terms of work-life balance, only one respondent felt satisfied, while others struggle to balance work and personal life. Based on the high turnover rate at Peticino business centers, and then interview results indicate problem in HR management, especially among employees facing heavy work-load pressures, work-life imbalance, and just job dissatisfaction. This research is important to provide deeper understanding of dynamics at Peticino business center. And then the problem statement. There is 7 problem statement. The first one is there a direct effect of work-life on employees' turnover intention? Is there a direct effect of work-life balance on employees' turnover intention? Is there a direct effect of job satisfaction on employees' turnover intention? Is there a direct effect of work-life on employees' job satisfaction? Is there a direct effect of work-life balance on employees' job satisfaction? Does job satisfaction mediate the relationship between workload and turnover intention? Does job satisfaction mediate the relationship between work-life balance and turnover intention? And then from the problem statement, there's research objectives. The first one is to analyze the effect of work-life and employee turnover intention, to analyze the effect of work-life balance on employees turnover intention, to analyze the effect of job satisfaction on employees turnover intention, to analyze the effect of workload on employees job satisfaction, to analyze the effect of work-life balance on job satisfaction, to examine the role of job satisfaction as a mediating variable in the relationship between workload and turnover intention, and then the last is to examine the role of job satisfaction as a mediating variable in the relationship between work-life balance and turnover intention. And then research benefits. The first one is for theoretical benefits. This research aims to enhance insights and enrich literature on the factors influencing turnover intention, especially in the context of workload, work-life balance, and job satisfaction as mediation variable. This research is also expected to contribute to the development of theories in human research management. The second one, for research benefit for practical benefits. This research provides insight for Peticino Business Centers management and HR in designing effective strategies and policies to reduce turnover intention by considering workload, work-life balance, and job satisfaction. And then we move to the second part of this presentation. There is literature review. Literature review for turnover intention. Turnover intention is the employee's desire to leave the organization, which can result in actual turnover over time. Its indicators including individual factors and environmental factors. And the second one is workload. Workload is a set of number of activities that must be completed by job holder or unit within a specific time. According to Hart and Stabland, workload indicators include task demands, effort and energy, and then performance. And the third one is work-life balance. Work-life balance is a balanced condition between personal life and work. Its indicators are time balance, involvement balance, and satisfaction balance. And the last one is job satisfaction. Job satisfaction is an individual's general attitude toward their job, the difference between the reward received and those believed to be deserved. Lutan identifies indicators including the work itself, quality of supervision, relationship with coworkers, promotion opportunities, and salary. And then there is relevant research. There is 23 research that will support for this thesis. And the theoretical framework and hypothesis development. The first one for pengaruh beban kerja terhadap turnover intention. Ahmad Bayu Kuncoro and Yeti Lutian Suprapto, also Agung Priyono and Sunita Pubolon, they just have the result of their research workload significantly and positively affect turnover intention. And then the second one is pengaruh work-life balance terhadap turnover intention. Muhammad Kamal Abidin, Erna Purwatiningsi, and Hunik Sriruning Sawitri have researched the result is work-life balance has a significant negative effect on turnover intention. And then pengaruh kepuasan kerja terhadap turnover intention, Novi Ali Marzuki, and then Jessica Mila and Mei Yi. The result is job satisfaction significantly and negatively affects turnover intention. And then pengaruh beban kerja terhadap kepuasan kerja, Rada Yurida and Agung Aditya Saputra have researched, and the result is workload has a positive effect on job satisfaction. And then pengaruh work-life balance terhadap kepuasan kerja, Kasbuntoro et al. And Lukman Cahyadi and Desi Prastiani have research with the result is work-life balance significantly and positively affects job satisfaction. And then pengaruh beban kerja terhadap turnover intention melalui kepuasan kerja, Novel Mahya and Muhammad Sutikno have research with the result workload significantly affect turnover intention, job satisfaction, mediate the effect of workload on turnover intention. And the last one is pengaruh work-life balance terhadap turnover intention melalui kepuasan kerja. Wiwik Sismawati and Yeshala Tarufa, and then also Nilugi Yogiswari and IBT di Priantara have research with the result work-life balance significantly and negatively affect turnover intention, job satisfaction mediates the relationship. And then we can see the research of framework for this thesis. So the hypothesis formulation for this thesis is has H1 beban kerja berpengaruh positif terhadap turnover intention, H2 work-life balance berpengaruh negatif terhadap turnover intention, H3 kepuasan kerja berpengaruh negatif terhadap turnover intention, H4 beban kerja berpengaruh negatif terhadap kepuasan kerja, H5 work-life balance berpengaruh positif terhadap kepuasan kerja, H6 beban kerja berpengaruh positif terhadap turnover intention melalui kepuasan kerja, and the last one H7 work-life balance berpengaruh negatif terhadap turnover intention melalui kepuasan kerja. And then we can move to the third one. It's about research methodology. The first one is for place and time for this research. The study involves employees of PT Cino Business Center located at Citrator Kemayoran, Jakarta Pusat, and then estimation research timeline is 8 months from December 2024 until July 2025. And then research design, the method used is quantitative research. Primary data was collected through structured questionnaires using a Likert scale. The number 3, population and sample. The population consists of 190-30 employees using the Taro-Yamane formula, and then a sample of 130 respondent was selected with a 5% margin of error. And then instrument development. The first one is job satisfaction. A conceptual definition of job satisfaction is a psychological condition reflecting individual feelings about their job arising from the match between expectation and reality. And then number 2, operational definition, employees' view on psychological condition assessed through work itself, supervision quality, coworker relations, promotion opportunity, and pay. An instrument grade for this for job satisfaction is there have 5 instruments with work itself, supervision quality, coworker relation, promotion opportunity, and then pay. And then the second one for instrument development is turnover intention. Conceptual definition for turnover intention, a situation where the employees leave the organization either voluntarily or by company decision. And then operational definition for turnover retention, employee perception of their desire to leave the company measured by individual factors and environmental factors. And then instrument grade of turnover intention, there have individual factor with job-seeking behavior, work ethic, competency improvement, job feelings, and then intention to stay. And then environmental factors with work responsibilities and job opportunities. And then the third one for instrument development is workload. Conceptual definition of workload is a set of tasks to be completed by a person or unit within a specific time. And then operational definition for workload employs perfection of task demands, effort, and performance. And then instrument grade of workload, there's three indicators. The first one is task demand, effort, and then performance. And the last one is instrument development for work-life balance. Conceptual definition of work-life balance is a healthy balance between job demands and personal life. And then operational definition for work-life balance is employee perception of time, involvement, and satisfaction balance. Instrument grade of work-life balance is there have three indicators. The first one is time balance, involvement balance, and satisfaction balance. And then data collection techniques. The first one is literature review, study of books, journals, and scientific work relevant to the research problems. And then the second one is field research. Questionnaires distributed as research instrument measured using a Likert scale with strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. And then data analysis technique. In this research, data is analyzed using SAMPLS via Smart PLS 4.1.0.8. The first one is analysis outer model or measurement model. Convergent validity indicator is valid if loading factor more than 0.7 and then more than 0.5 is acceptable for new models. And then discriminant validity indicator loading on intended construct should be higher than others. Composite reliability or CR. CR is more than 0.7 indicates good reliability, and more than 0.8 is high. And then converge alpha measures internal consistency. More than 0.7 is reliable. More than 0.6 is acceptable for early research. And then average variance accepted or AV more than 0.5 indicates adequate convergent validity. And then for the data analysis technique, the second one is inner model analysis. The first one is R square or more than 0.75 is strong effect. More than 0.50 moderate effect. More than 0.25 is weak effect. And then good of fit or GOF SRMR is less than 0.10 is good model fit, and NFI close to 1 is better model fit. And the third one for data analysis technique is hypothesis testing. There's 2 points for hypothesis testing. The first one is direct effect analysis. The first one is peak coefficient. Positive value is same direction. Relationship negative value is opposite direction relation. And then p-value, p less than 0.05 is significant. P more than 0.05 is not significant. And then the last one for hypothesis testing is indirect effect analysis. measures effect through mediating variable based on bootstrapping result under specific indirect effect column to assess mediating role. Okay, and then we can move to the fourth one for this result is research result and discussion. Description of the unit analysis. The unit of analysis in this research is PT Cindo Business Center, a consulting and cross-border research management service company focused on cooperation between Indonesia and China. The company began in 2018 when Ms. Hansuya founded a PT Human Research Indonesia Andalan in Jakarta, which provided labor for China-based companies operating in Indonesia. In 2019, she expanded the business by establishing PT HRI Consulting Service, which focused on legal and financial consulting, and PT HRI Outsourcing Service, which provide outsourcing service. And then after that, in 2022, all these business units were consolidated under a single parent company called PT Cindo Business Center. The company functioned as a one-stop service platform offering integrated service ranging from legal, taxation, financial, and human research consulting to facilitating communication with government institutions, thereby supporting the operational needs of various companies engaged in Indonesia and China corporation. And then description of respondent characteristic. In the table of respondent characteristic, for gender, woman is bigger than man, and then for age, there is a range from 21 until 30 old with the highest frequency. And then for the study, there's for bachelor degree or S1, there have the highest frequency. And then for work, there's have 1 until 2 years with the high frequency. And then description of research variables. The first one is for turnover intention. There have three indicators. The first one is thought of quitting, intention to search for another job, and intention to search for another job. And then, yeah, we can see about this result. And then there are also result for workload variable. They have three indicators. There is task demands, effort, and then performance. And then also for work-life balance, there is time balance, involvement balance, and satisfaction balance. And then for job satisfaction variable, there is 5 indicator, work itself, quality of supervisor, and then with coworkers, and then promotion, and also pay. Okay, and then move to statistical data analysis. We can see feature of research latent variable. The first one is author model testing or measurement model. There have convergent validity. The first one is loading factor values. Based on the result for convergent validity test by loading factor values, all indicators meet the outer loading threshold of more than 0.7, indicating that the indicators adequately represent their respective constructs. Therefore, all indicators in this table can be used as they meet the convergent validity criteria. And then the second one for convergent validity is average variant expected or AV. Based on the table, all variables have AV values above the minimum threshold of 0.50, thus all variables are considered valid and all constructs in the model meet the conversion validity criteria based on F values. The workload variable has the highest F values of 0.744, which means that more than 75% of the variance of its indicator can be explained by the construct. And then for measurement model, the second one is discriminant validity. We can see at the table the cross-loading values for all variables shows that the correlation between each instrument and its prospective construct is greater than its correlation with other construct. The result of the convergent and discriminant validity tests show consistent findings with all indicators being declared valid. This indicates that the model has a good fit and is able to effectively distinguish between different constructs. Thus, this measurement instrument used in this study is valid. And then the third one for measurement model is discriminant validity. There have some point for discriminant validity. The first one is cross-loading based on the result of the converged alpha value. All variables in model have converged alpha and composite reliability values above the minimum threshold of 0.7b, indicating that the instruments are used reliable or consist in measuring their construct. Therefore, all constructs in the model meet good reliability criteria and are suitable for future analysis. And then model fit test. Based on the model fit test table, the result indicate that the model can be used to analyze the relationship among latent variables with confidence that the model accurately reflects the data and has relevant prediction capability. The first one is SRMR, standardized root mean squared residual. A good SRMR value is below 0.10 and ideally below 0.08. In the result, the SMR is 0.044, which is below the 0.10 threshold, indicating that the model has a good fit. And then the second one is NFI, normal fit index. The NFI value of 0.830 is closest to 1. Therefore, the model is considered fit based on the NFI indicator. And the last one is GOF, or goodness of fit. The GOF value is 0.787, which indicates a very strong model fit. This shows that the model is able to explain the relationship among construct well. And then inner model testing or structural model. The first one for inner model is R-square. Based on the table, R-square value for job satisfaction variable is 0.767, indicating that 76% of the variance in job satisfaction can be explained by independent construct in the model, while the remaining 23% is explained by other factors outside the model. This value falls into the strong category as R quadrat more than 75. Meanwhile, the R square value for the turnover intention variable is 0.886, indicating that 88% of the variance in turnover intention is explained by the construct in the model, with remaining 11% explained by other variables. This value also falls into the strong category. The following shows the PLSM algorithm output for the model's R square. And then the second one for in structural model or inner model is effect size or F square based on the result in table. The following explanation can be provided. Their workload to job satisfaction. The F value is 1.143, indicating a large effect. This means workload has a dominant influence in reducing job satisfaction. And then the second one, workload to turnover intention, the F value 0.424, also indicating a large effect. This means workload has a dominant influence in increasing turnover intention. And then the third one is work-life balance to job satisfaction. The F value 1.742, indicating a medium effect. This means work-life balance contribute to increasing job satisfaction. And then the fourth one is work-life balance to turnover intention. The F value is 0.203, indicating a large effect. This means work-life balance has a dominant influence in reducing turnover intention. And the last one for effect size is job satisfaction to turnover intention. The F value is 0.589, indicating a large effect. This means job satisfaction has a dominant influence in reducing turnover intention. And then for inner model, the third one is significance or hypothesis testing. There's 2 points for hypothesis testing. The first one is bootstrapping result for direct effect. Number one, workload to turnover intention. This path has a coefficient of 0.325, test statistic 6062, and so, and p-value is 0.0, indicating a strong and a significant positive effect. This means the higher the workload, the higher the employee's turnover intention. Hypothesis one is statistically supported. And then work-life balance to turnover intention. This path has a coefficient of minus 0.255, the statistic 4.998, and p-value 0.0. The negative coefficient indicates an opposite direction effect, meaning that better work-life balance leads to lower turnover intention. Hypothesis 2 is statistically supported. And then the third one is job satisfaction to turnover intention. This fact coefficient is minus 0.538. The statistic is 9.276. P-value 0.0. This indicates a significant negative effect that higher job satisfaction reduces turnover intention. Hypothesis 3 is accepted. And then workload job satisfaction. The PET coefficient is minus 0.520. The statistic 0.484. P-value 0.0. This negative effect indicates the higher workload reduces job satisfaction. Hypothesis 4 is statistically supported. And then the last one for direct effect bootstrapping is workload balance to job satisfaction. This path has a coefficient of 0.642, test statistic 16.621, and p-value 0.0. The positive effect indicates that better work-life balance increases job satisfaction. Hypothesis 5 is accepted. And then the last one for hypothesis testing is bootstrapping result for indirect effect. There's 2 points. The first one is workload to turnover intention through job satisfaction. The indirect path coefficient is 0.280, with this statistic 6.744 and p-value 0.0. This significant positive effect shows that high workload reduces job satisfaction, which then indirectly increases turnover intention. Hypothesis 6 is statistically supported. And then the last one for bootstrapping result for indirect effect is work-life balance to turnover intention through job satisfaction. The indirect path coefficient is minus 0.345, test statistic 80190, and p-value 0.0, indicating a significant negative effect. This means better work-life balance increases job satisfaction, which then indirectly reduces turnover intention. Hypothesis 7 is rejected. Okay, and then we can move to the discussion. The first one is the influence of workload on turnover intention. The research findings show that workload has a positive effect on employees' turnover intention at PT Cindo Business Center. This means that the higher the workload perceived by employees, the higher their tendency to leave the company. These findings are consistent with studies conducted by Ahmad Bayu Kuncoro and Yeti Lutian Suprapto, and then Agung Priyono and Suni Tampu Bolon, which state that workload has a positive effect on turnover intention. And then the second one, the influence of work-life balance on turnover intention. The research findings show that work-life balance has a negative effect on employees' turnover intention at PT Cindo Business Center. This means that the better the balance between personal life and work that employees experience, the lower their tendency to leave the company. This finding align with studies conducted by Muhammad Kamal Abidin and Erna Purwatiningsih with Runing Sawitri, which found that work-life balance negatively affect turnover intention. And then the third one is the influence of job satisfaction on turnover intention. The research findings show that job satisfaction has a negative effect on employees' turnover intention at PT Cindo Business Center. This means that the higher the level of job satisfaction perceived by employees, the lower their tendency to leave the company. These findings are consistent with studies conducted by Novi Ali Marzuki and Jessica Marcella in MIE, which state that job satisfaction negatively affect turnover intention. And then the influence of workload on job satisfaction. The research finding shows that workload has a negative effect on employees' job satisfaction at PT Cindo Business Center. This means that the higher the workload perceived by employees, the lower their level of job satisfaction. These findings align with studies conducted by Rada Yurida and Agung Aditya Saputra, which found that workload negatively affect job satisfaction. And then the influence of work-life balance on job satisfaction. The research findings show that work-life balance has a positive effect on employees' job satisfaction at PT Cindo Business Center. This means that the better balance between a personal life and work that employees experience, the higher the level of job satisfaction. These findings are consistent with studies conducted by Kasbuntoro et al. And Lukman Cahyadi and Desi Prastiani, which state that work-life balance positively affect job satisfaction. And then the positive influence of workload on turnover intention through job satisfaction. The research findings show that workload has a positive effect on turnover intention through job satisfaction among employees at PT Cindo Business Center. This means that workload through its impact on job satisfaction becomes a factor that can increase turnover intention. When a high workload lowers job satisfaction, employees' desire to leave the company becomes even stronger. These findings are consistent with studies conducted by Novel Marcha and Muhammad Sutikno, which state that workload positively affect turnover intention through job satisfaction. And then the last one is the negative influence of work-life balance on turnover intention through job satisfaction. The research findings show that work-life balance has a negative and significant effect on turnover intention through job satisfaction among employees at PT Cindo Business Center. This means that work-life balance through job satisfactions become a factor that can reduce turnover intention. The better the employee's work-life balance, the higher their job satisfaction, which in turn lowers their desire to leave the company. These findings are in line with studies conducted by Wiwik Sismawati and Esela Tarufa, and then Niluh Yogiswarya and Ibe Teddy Priantara, which state that work-life balance negatively affect turnover intention through job satisfaction. And then the last part of this thesis is conclusion and suggestion. Conclusion: workload has a positive significant effect on turnover intention among employees, and then work-life balance has a negative and significant effect on turnover intention among employees. Job satisfaction has a negative and significant effect on turnover intention. Workload has a negative and significant effect on job satisfaction. Work-life balance has a positive and significant effect on job satisfaction. Workload has a positive and significant effect on turnover intention through job satisfaction. And then the last one is work-life balance has a negative and significant effect on turnover intention. And then implication from the variable turnover intention indicator through thoughts of quitting is higher. So the implication is employees tends to consider leaving their current job. The company needs to strengthen emotional attachment, employee loyalty to reduce intention to resign. And then variable workload, the indicator of performance is the highest. So employees are still able to maintain their performance despite having a high workload. The company can sustain this by providing research supporting and appropriate recognition. And then variable work-life balance, there is satisfaction balance who have the highest. So employees are able to feel satisfaction both in personal life and work. The condition should be maintained by continuing support employees' personal activities outside work to keep the balance intact. And the last one is a variable of job satisfaction. The indicator of job itself is the highest. So implication is the current job aligns well with employees' duties and competencies. The company can maintain this by providing opportunities for employees to explore their potential, learn new skill, and take pride in the work. And then number 3 is recommendation. The first one is recommendation for PT Cindo Business Center from variable turnover intention. The indicator intention to search for another job is the lowest. So recommendation to PT Cindo Business Center, the company can implement a personal approach, increase employee engagement, and create a more supportive work environment to enhance employee retention. And the second one is for workload. There's effort that the lowest indicator. So the company can improve workload management by ensuring a fair distribution of tasks and providing adequate rest periods. And then the third one is work-life balance with the time balance who is the lowest. So the recommendation is should develop flexible working time policies or time management program to help employees balance job demands with their personal life. And then the last one is job satisfaction. Pay or compensation is the lowest. So the company should reevaluate its compensation system, adjust salaries based on workload and performance, and improve supporting facilities to increase job satisfaction. And then there are also recommendations for future research. This study uses only two independent variables and one mediation variable. The future research may add other variables such as job stress or work engagement, leadership, or organizational culture, which may also influence turnover intention. And then the second one is the study uses only one unit of analysis. So the future studies may expand the sample of multiple companies or other industries to obtain more general and comparable results. And then the last one for the recommendation, the reference used in this study can be increased in number and variety to strengthen the theoretical foundation and produce more comprehensive findings. And then the last one is research limitation. This study examines only two independent variables, workload and work-life balance, and one mediating variable, job satisfaction, leaving many other possible factors that may influence turnover intention. And then data collection was conducted only through questionnaire based on respondents' perception. So the conclusion depend entirely on the honest and accuracy of the responses without in-depth interviews. And then research sample is limited to employees of Peticino Business Center, so the finding may not be generalizable to other companies or sector. Okay, so maybe there's from me. I hope this research have the good ways to others, especially for me, and then for the university, and then also for the company. So that's all. Thank you so much for your attention. If you have any question or any suggest for me, please feel free to reach out. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.